This story is dedicated to all Pohnpeian youth, wherever they may be. This story is also told by Sapeden Pwiliko, who is the great-granddaughter of Kedinsairirin. Her great-grandmother used to tell her this story when she was little. It's in her memory that we share this story today. Mas, a very long time ago, there was a man who lived on the island of Na, right off of the reef in Pohnpei in Micronesia, very close to the ancient ruins of Nanmadol in the municipality of Matalenin. So one day, Soulik of Na sent one of his men to go to another man named Kronen Letao, who lived on the island of Pohnpei, on the main island of Pohnpei, to bring some bananas. So the man and his little boy, they leave and go to see Kronen Letao. And they bring to Kronen Letao the request from Soulik of Na. Now, when the man and his son arrived to see Kronen Letao, and they told him the request from Soulik of Na, apparently there was a woman there who lived in the compound who had died, who had recently passed away. And so what Kronen Letao does is he wraps up this dead lady, puts her in a basket, in a Pohnpeian basket, kiam, made of coconut fronds, wraps up this dead lady and sends her back. Instead of bananas, sends her back with the man and his son. As the father and his son are paddling back in their canoe to the island of Na, the little boy says to his father that he was hungry for bananas. And the father tells him, go ahead and reach into the basket, twist off a banana, make sure you get it from the smaller end of the stalk of bananas. And so the little boy reaches into the basket and starts to twist what he believes is a banana. And he's twisting and twisting this way and that, and it doesn't come off because, well, what he was actually twisting was the dead lady's breast. So now this causes the dead lady to come back alive, and now she wants to eat the little boy up. She wants to gobble him up. So the father pushes the lady off of the canoe and they run away. So they finally get to Soulik of Na, on the island of Na, and they let him know what has happened. Now, as you can imagine, the Soulik of Na, oh, he is very angry. And he is so angry. He says, I wish I had in my family the stingray, the queen of the deep, or the queen of the bottom of the sea, so that stingray can can avenge me for what has happened. It's said that shortly after that, the stingrays heard Soulik of Na, and they started gathering. And they gathered in the sand right outside of Na, and they gathered and they created a line of stingrays all the way from the island of Na across the lagoon up the shore to the mountains of Letao on the main island of Pohnpei. And when they arrived, or when the head stingray arrived at the house of Kronen Letao, he was getting ready to have some sakao. And so the stingray calls out to Kronen Letao. Apparently there was a different woman who lived at the house of Kronen Letao, and she had a voice that sounded like she had a hole in her nose. So the stingray pretended that he was the lady and called out to Kronen Letao and said, Kronen Letao, Komuyen patropan kopunen zonigan na. Kononen neto. You are to report to Sonigan na. She has a funny voice. It sounds like she has a hole in her nose. Koronen Leto answers and says, all right, well, hang tight so I can get a torch ready, a light that he can use to light his way. It's already dark. And the lady says, or actually the stingray, says to Kron of Leto, she responds to him and says, Yenamen komsen nagido chamasen denemi. You don't need a torch. Never mind a torch. You can just use your toes to find your way, use them to light your way. So Kronen Letau steps out of his house, and as soon as he steps out the door, he slips and falls on top of a stingray. And these stingrays were quick. They do not hesitate. They have wings that they can flap when they're swimming. And so they used their wings and flapped and flipped the man, Kronen Letau, all the way down, flipping him from one to another, passing this man across this long line of stingrays all the way down to the island where he lands at the feet of Soulik and Na. Soulik of Na. And Soulik of Na says, take him away. Take him away from me. Take him away from there and give him some land. They say that there is well, you can see it there today. There's a deep spot in the reef outside of the island of Na. And they say that that's the place where the stingrays took Koronen Letau. And with their tails and the barbs on their tails, they stung him and poked him and thrashed at him until they killed him. And literally nothing was left of his body. The only thing that remains is that little deep area in the reef. And as they say in Pohnpeian, I say, watch roar away. And that's the end of the story.